And welcome to the Bulls on the Run podcast, coming at you with a new video. In today's video, we're talking about why Zach Lavine has me heated after these last two games, especially. Now, Zach Lavine, even though he's having better games, a better season than he was having earlier this year, some of the plays that he's been making down the stretch has been really making me mad. Zach Lavine is averaging 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 43.6% from field goal. So he's having a good season for a all-star player. But the decisions that he's been making down the stretch, especially in the Hawks game, really has me mad. There was two specific plays that Zach Lavine had. The first play was in overtime where the Bulls was tied. And Zach Lavine clearly could have made a play for someone else to get the ball, a more high percentage shot. But he decides to pull the shot from 3 in front of Bogdan Bogdanovic. And then he did it again when the Bulls was down by 3 points. And he pulls the shot again, and it breaks. Then last night, there was a traveling violation that he got right before he passed the ball to Alex Caruso when the score was tied. Then the Bulls were down by 6, and he decides to pass the ball to Patrick Williams when a better play could have been drawn for him. There has these boneheaded plays. You cannot be an all-star. You cannot be the Bulls' best player. Besides DeMar DeRozan, we know DeMar DeRozan is the Bulls' best player when it comes to the stats and the way he scores. But this is Zach Lavine's team. Your IQ down the stretch has to be better. You have to show that you have trust in your teammates, because it really derails the confidence of the team. Down the stretch last game, especially against the Knicks yesterday, the Bulls only scored 3 points in the overtime. In overtime, they only scored 3 points. Coming out of regulation, the score was 117 to 117. The Bulls finished the game with 120 points, only scoring 3 points in overtime against the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks scored 11 points in overtime. The Bulls scored 3 points in overtime. Being this caliber of team, being a playoff team, if you want to make the playoffs, if you want to win games, Zach Lavine's always talking about winning games. He always talking about, I want my team to win. We got to string together wins. You, being the best player, have to know how to string together those wins. And it comes down to making the right plays at the end of the game. Making the smart plays, not trying to be the hero, not trying to make the headlines, but being that player who can get others involved, make your teammates better. Down the stretch, there was so many opportunities that could have happened for this team to win, for this team to get the dub last night. But we know that the Knicks was the hot team. The Knicks was the hot. They had it going throughout the whole game, hitting 18 3-pointers in last game. But we had players on our team that was hot. We had Kobe White, who was hitting some big shots. Not even just last night. Kobe White has been hot these last couple games. Why don't you throw the ball to Kobe White? Why don't you put Kobe White in the game, Billy Donovan, at the end of in overtime, so that we can get those big shots that we need? Why don't you get Vucevic involved in the paint early, even though Mitchell Robinson was on him in the paint? Why don't you do the switch that you did in the beginning of the game where Julius Randle was guarding Vucevic in the paint, and we know that Julius Randle is not an interior defender or a shot blocker whatsoever. Why don't you get those other players involved, the players that has it going? especially Zach Lavine, needs to make that decision. If you're going to have the ball down the stretch, not even just Zach Lavine, DeMar DeRozan was making some questionable plays as well. He was making some bad shots last night in overtime. They're just running ISO ball, going back to the habits that we've seen from this team in the past. I don't understand, but it's gonna have to get fixed. We play the Knicks again on Friday, and this play that we've been seeing in late games from the Bulls it has to change. It has to improve. But that's it.